Hello, everyone. This is Charlie again. I'd like to give you some Superdraft tips for this week, lineup suggestions. I'm looking back at my lineup from last week. Uh, it didn't cash in a 50-50. As you can see, I came in 8th place now. I said last week that wide receiver was the position that I always struggle with. Really high variance position. For quarterback, I went Justin Herbert. I was going back between him and Jalen Hurts, and either one would have done just fine, pretty much. Um, I just had a kind of a better feeling about Herbert. I think they both did around 25 to 30 points, so you probably would have been fine with either one of them. McCaffrey, I don't, I mean, kind of doesn't really do it for me, I guess. I mean, everyone was saying, oh, you always got to play McCaffrey anytime he's healthy because he's like that until your offense. I don't know. He's all right. Jonathan Taylor did really well against the Texans, as he usually does. Jalen Waddle had a late touchdown in the first half, uh, which pretty much was the most of his production. Didn't do a whole lot outside of that. Kelsey, of course, he was good. I didn't really mind not having a multiplier with him. I knew that most of the receivers for the Chiefs were kind of iffy. You didn't really know what you were going to expect, but you knew Kelsey was going to go off. Eckler was kind of a disappointment, and these two guys I thought were going to do really well. Mike Williams and Adam Thielen, but neither of them really did well, and that's probably the reason why I didn't make any money. So anyway, on to this week now. I'll be going. I think I want to go with Matthew Stafford. The team got embarrassed. Now, it was against one of the best teams in the league, the Bills, who were Super Bowl favorites. Um, so, I could see them having a huge bounce for that game. The Rams, now they're facing one of the worst teams in the Lions. They're playing at home. So I kind of like Stafford, I think, and Cup and Higbee was my initial stack was, as you can see right there, Stafford, Cup, and Higbee. Now I'm wondering uh, if Carson Wentz is really going to duplicate what he did last week. I think it's possible. He's kind of going up against a similar defense, and the Lions that aren't really good, and the Jaguars were pretty terrible last week. Now the Lions gave up like 38 points in however many quarters it was to the Eagles. I think I almost said the name that I wasn't supposed to say, but can the Washington Commanders put up that same type of effort? That's a big question. We think so, but we don't know. Now, so we have Murray, Jackson, Brady, Wilson, um, Stafford, Burrow. Burrow was interesting to me because, as you can see here, that just looking at his stats, he threw 4 interceptions and was sacked 7 times. He still ended up with 22.22 fantasy points. So that's pretty good. Now, people are thinking because it's Cooper Rush for the Cowboys, maybe they won't be able to keep up with the Bengals. And guys like Joe Mixon are better plays because they're probably going to be running more. So I like Stafford, though, at quarterback. Stacking him with Cup and Higbee, I think that's also a good multiplier for him. Of course, don't really want to chase multipliers. Don't really want to play a guy because he has a high multiplier. You kind of want that to be like a bonus. Like, oh, this guy's a great play and he has a good multiplier. So now with the case of the Dolphins game versus the Ravens, they don't do well really historically when they have to go into Baltimore and play. Now they did play against the Ravens last year on Thursday Night Football, and I think they pretty much shocked everyone, including Lamar Jackson. Didn't really have that great of a game. Um, Now, the other big thing, if you haven't noticed, that four defensive backs are dealing with injuries for the Ravens, so I think there's going to be a lot of passing. There could be a lot of passing in this game. The only thing is, Tua only threw the ball like 33 times last week. So that's something to watch out for. 1.35x multiplier on Tua. Not the greatest fantasy quarterback in the world, uh, doesn't usually score above like 15 to 17 points. Last year he had two pretty good games against the Falcons and Jaguars. Now he's going against they're I don't want to say they're that much better, but it's the Ravens and they're home and they're a pretty tough out at home. So as you can see, only 33 pass attempts. Now the other thing I wanted to bring up about the Ravens is where's Joe Flacco? He was probably down at the bottom here. Joe Flacco 175x. It might be worth a tournament play against the Eagles, or I mean against the Browns, and with the Ravens. When he was with the Ravens, he played the Browns a lot. Um, 37 pass completions against the Ravens. Threw the ball 59 times, which of course they were passing a lot because they were down pretty much the whole game. Now, the other running back spot, so I think I want to plug in Taylor. Now, the only thing, the Colts don't do too well when they have to go into Jacksonville. As you may have seen, a lot of pass catchers for the Colts are like questionable, dealing with injuries. Michael Pittman didn't practice Thursday or Friday. So he's questionable. So Jonathan Taylor might be getting a lot of work this week as well. Again, with the Jacksonville factor, going on the road where they lost, all they had to do was win last week on the final regular week of the season, last week of the regular season, I should say. Now, Jamal Williams, I like that multiplier at 1.6. So we saw DeAndre Swift was questionable, I think even if he does play, because they actually both had pretty good days against the Eagles. So if Jamal plays, if Swift plays, I think Jamal Williams is a good play. If he doesn't play, it's a great play. So we got Hill. St. Brown is another high multiplier guy. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 1.4x. I like that. Now, there was another guy that I was looking at. Well, I think it was like around 1.25 for Atlanta. See if I can find him here. It was Cordell Patterson. Now, Cordell Patterson, I think he's going to be 1.3x. He had a huge game last game against the Saints. 23-10 fantasy points, the most rushing yards and attempts. And as you can see, they also used him in the pass game. There were 5 targets. So I think he can be good. Good play, of course. Damien Williams is actually out. We don't really know about Tyler Algier yet, the rookie running back. So we don't know about him yet. I also kind of like Javonte Williams, as you saw. He's going against a kind of a bad defense. He's at home playing the Texans. He's worth a look too. Jamal Williams at 1.3x as well. Then you got Saquon Barkley. I like him. Chubb. I was never really into Chubb. Maybe it's the name Chubb. Nick Chubb. It's kind of a weird name. You got Gibson, Harris. I don't really know that much about. I was never a big Najee Harris fan. I got him in my fantasy league at work. I'm not crazy about him. I had picked number 9 in a 16-team league. So by the time I picked, I think most of the good players were already gone. So I kind of had to go, yeah, I'll just take Najee Harris. I didn't feel great about it. Got hurt week 1, but it looks like he's ready to go. You might stack this game, Arizona and Las Vegas. So James Conner could be an option. Plus, he's kind of the only running back there. They got Eno Benjamin. Chase Edmonds is now in Miami. So that could be good as well. So this is kind of what I'm going with is this what I have so far. Stafford, Cup, Higbee stack. I like St. Brown. I think that's a good multiplier. It's probably good to run it back with some pass catchers on the Lions or on the Commanders, Washington Commanders. Now, the first name I clicked on for Washington this week was Jahan Dotson. Now, he's all the way down there at 2x. Rookie receiver, had a really good game. Now, as I look deeper into it, he only had 1 rush for negative 10 yards, which is funny. 3 catches for 5 yards, which, isn't a great fantasy day for 40 yards. 3 catches on 5 targets for 40 yards, I should say. He just happened to have 2 touchdowns. Now, I think more people would be interested in Curtis Samuel, who's 1.75x, which is still a great multiplier. I think he's going to have a pretty good day. 8 receptions on 11 targets. So he's getting the pass work. Still got 4 rushes. I think at that multiplier, with that workload, Curtis Samuel could be a good play too. Might actually play him instead of one of the Dolphin receivers. I think both Dolphin receivers are probably going to have a good day like they did last week. So Curtis Samuel is a name to look out for too. So this is what I have. I might swap out Waddle for Samuel. In fact, maybe I'll do that. Waddle for Samuel. Where did Samuel go? Okay. So I might do that for right now. But yeah, that is my video for this week. My Superdraft video. If you guys like this video, you can like. And you can also subscribe to my channel. All right, so I'll see you guys. Thank you for watching.